This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll tell you about the most mystical people and events that science cannot explain. Lori Erica Ruff. We all have our secrets that we don't want to tell even our closest people. But Lori Erica Ruff outdid us all. She had so many secrets that even science still can't unravel who this woman really was. It all started when Lori Erica Ruff married Blake Ruff and took his last name. Lori led a secretive lifestyle, so she asked her lover to have the wedding without relatives, and soon after the celebration, she insisted on moving away from her spouse's family. According to Blake, his spouse didn't talk about her past and sometimes behaved very strangely. Their relationship ended after Lori gave birth to a baby girl and fell into postpartum depression. After that, Blake filed for divorce. When attempts to win her husband back were unsuccessful, Lori took her own life. After the woman's death, Blake's relatives decided to find out what her past was and why the deceased was so careful to hide her story. Opening Lori's safe, they were amazed. They found documents showing that Lori had changed her name. Her name used to be Becky Sue Turner. The same safe contained newspaper clippings reported that Becky Sue Turner had actually died in a fire at the age of 2. It wasn't until 6 years after Lori's death that her supposed parents were found. They revealed that her name was actually Kimberly McLean and that the girl had run away from home when her relationship with her new stepfather didn't work out. It's a real mess. Still not clear who this woman really was and why she was so careful to hide everything. Maybe Lori was involved with UFOs, or maybe she knew something about aliens. Valiant Thor certainly knew a lot about them. Moreover, it's believed that he himself was a real alien who lived on our planet under the guise of an Earthling. The first references to Valiant Thor appeared in the book The Stranger at the Pentagon by Dr. Frank Stranges. The writer-preacher who researched UFOs claimed that in 1958 he got his hands on pictures of an alien who supposedly came from Venus. It was Thor. It's believed that Thor was able to talk to U.S. President Eisenhower, pointed him to the problem of nuclear weapons, and helped create several projects, including the construction of Area 51. Thor's existence is confirmed by footage shown in 1995 by UFO researcher Phil Schneider. He claimed that he personally met a visitor from Venus who worked for the U.S. government. Coincidence or not, Schneider was found dead a year after this information was made public. 11 of his friends were also dead. It's unknown what became of them, but UFOologists believe that Schneider and his friends were eliminated by the U.S. intelligence agencies as they knew too much and spoke openly about it. It sucks when someone spoils your photo, doesn't it? It sucks when a person gets into the frame at the wrong moment. In the case of Jim Templeton, that person was the mysterious astronaut who's still the subject of debate. Here's a photograph taken in 1964 in the English Bay of Solway Firth. The shot shows Jim's daughter with a man standing behind her looking like an astronaut in a spacesuit. You'd think it could be a defect on film or a buddy of Jim's who's deciding to fool around and pose like that, but no. As Jim claimed, there was no one behind his daughter when he took the picture. According to Templeton, the figure appeared later, after the film was developed. The first assumption is a hoax, but this assumption collapses. The Kodak Company analysts confirmed that the photograph was authentic. What is it then? Who was the man who appeared for a moment behind Jim's daughter's back? Science cannot provide an exact answer. How were the Egyptian pyramids built? How were the Egyptian pyramids built? It seems that science already knows the answer to this question, but in fact there's no unified and certain explanation until now. One day, scientists put forward a new theory, the second day they refute it, and so on without end. But apparently one man unraveled this secret, and it was Edward Leedskalnin. He became famous for his Coral Castle in Florida. It's a complex of limestone sculptures weighing up to 30 tons. No haulers, no forklifts, nothing except for one truck. Edward sawed and brought the stones to the site himself, stacked them on top of each other, and even moved the castle to another location himself. Edward himself was small, no more than 152 centimeters tall and weighing about 45 to 50 kilograms. But even if he was a huge bruiser, that still wouldn't give us answers. How is a man basically capable of creating something like that on his own? When asked, Edward replied that he had solved the secret of building the Egyptian pyramids. He took the secret to his grave, and scientists still don't understand who this Superman really was. It seems that mermaids can only be seen in cartoons, movies, or in the pages of books. Yes, but if you're lucky, you can meet a real mermaid. In March 2013, submarine sailors were lucky. They managed to capture something that looked extremely similar to a mermaid or other mythical sea creature. Diving into the Greenland Sea in a mini bathyscaphe, they saw this creature, which seemed to tap on the underwater vehicle's glass. Looking at the creature's paws, they have webbing on them. Something like this might have been a real mermaid, not a fairy tale mermaid, because they need to move effectively underwater. But who was this creature really? A real mermaid? An unknown sea creature? Or someone else? Write in the comments what you think about it, and stay tuned, because scientists can't figure out not only some mystical people and creatures, but also some strange events. Further in this episode, there are some historical episodes that have puzzled researchers. Let's move on. Washington Flap. Reports of UFOs don't surprise anyone. So what if someone saw something that looked like a flying saucer? It's hard to believe such testimonies, isn't it? And what about several testimonies at the same time in the same place? The Washington Flap is just that case. This is how one of the most widespread UFO sighting claims went down in history. In July 1952, entire groups of UFOs were spotted on radar within the city limits of Washington, D.C. When the flying saucers finally disappeared a few weeks later, scientists set out to study the phenomenon. Many decades have passed, but scientists have never been able to come to any conclusion. At various times, the highest circles of the U.S. Air Force, the CIA, the best astrophysicists, U.S. President Harry Truman, and even Albert Einstein himself took part in the discussion of the Washington Flap. 50 years before that, something mystical and strange happened in Paris. On the night of December 29th to 30th, 1902, when many Parisians were already asleep, an inexplicable event occurred which has gone down in history as the Paris Time Gap. For some unknown reason, the pendulum clocks in the capital stopped, and there was an unusual silence in the houses. After the pendulum clocks in the homes of the capital's residents stopped working, many people felt ill. Eyewitnesses noted dizziness, nausea, and general weakness. This abnormal phenomenon caused panic and heated discussions among the citizens. Scientists were interested in the sudden stop of the clocks. It turned out that only clocks with a pendulum mechanism stopped, while there were no deviations in the work of spring mechanisms. Scientists have not recorded any seismic or meteorological anomalies, and according to the instruments, that December night in Paris passed without incident. But what really happened? The clocks couldn't have stopped for no reason, right? Versions ranging from a solar flare to the tricks of Nikola Tesla have been put forward, but none of them has been confirmed. The only plausible explanation offered by scientists was that the vibrations in Paris that night coincided in phase with the vibrations of the pendulum clocks, which caused them to malfunction. But even in this case, it remains a mystery. What exactly could be the source of these vibrations? Imagine you're walking down the street, and suddenly a passerby starts dancing right in front of you for no reason. Soon another person joins them, and then another and another. This isn't some flash mob. They're not dancing out of fun or desire, but like obsessives, and they're doing it literally until they fall, or to be more precise, until they collapse and die. Sounds like complete nonsense, doesn't it? But such an event actually happened. The Dancing Plague of 1518 took place in Strasbourg. For about a month, people danced in the streets of the city for no reason. They really danced to death. Many died of heart attacks, strokes, and physical exhaustion. It's creepy. But what was the reason for this strange and absurd event? Scientists can't give a certain answer. Someone thinks that poisoning with psychoactive products was to blame. Someone thinks that a special kind of epilepsy was the cause, while others speak of a coordinated religious ceremony. One way or another, there is still no definite answer. That's all, guys. Why do you think the people of Strasbourg broke into such a mad dance? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.